It seems like money's tight for everyone at the moment. The UK, my home country, has just gone into a recession, and even though I'm currently living in New Zealand, this country is also famously known for how expensive it can be. Cost of living has been a bit of a worldwide headline over the past couple of years, with people having to spend more money on basic essentials and not really having any extra income. And that left me wondering, is it even possible to still have a day out without spending a fortune? So today, I'm going to be challenging myself to have a day out in Christchurch with a budget of only $20. It's not going to be easy, and there's a few challenges I want to hit along the way. Challenge number 1, be a tourist. This means I have to visit somewhere with cultural or natural significance, somewhere that a tourist would visit in the city. Challenge number 2 is to go to an event. Find a regular or a one-off event that I can get into for free. Challenge number 3, find something to eat, and it has to be within budget. We're going to start with challenge number 1 and head to the Botanic Gardens.
The first thing you see as you enter the gardens is Peacock Fountain, which despite not actually having any peacocks on it, is still pretty cool. Apparently the gardens were founded over 150 years ago with the planting of a single oak tree. I couldn't find that tree, but I thought this one was pretty cool, so let's just pretend it's him. The paths around the gardens are very windy and maze-like, and you don't have to look too far before you'll find a pretty cool looking flower. I don't actually know what any of these are, I just like the colours, so if you do know what they are then feel free to pop it in the comments. Now the garden's also a bit of a hotspot for wildlife. I've never seen so many bees in one place before. There's also this cute duckling and loads of other birds. During my explorations, I came across this olive grape looking thing that looked like it could be edible, so obviously I had to give it a try. Only joking, that'd be silly.
So now we're just heading to go check out the greenhouses. That's where we've been told we're going to find some more of the tropical plants.
The first greenhouse I went into was the fern house, and it honestly looked a bit like a mini rainforest. It had been designed really well, and I also made friends with this wooden emu. After that was the flower house, which was definitely the most colourful, and it was also where I managed to find myself the crown I know that I've always deserved. They were growing peppers in here, and there was tons of them, and did you know leaves could be this colour? Because I definitely didn't. The room next door was home to the carnivorous plants. I've always found these super interesting. Hang on a minute, he looks familiar. The last greenhouse was definitely the most impressive. It was absolutely huge and truly felt like being in the middle of a tropical rainforest. They had banana plants. Yes, banana plants, not banana trees. Read the sign. And they also had my favourite plant in the whole garden, coffee. After that, there was even enough time for a skip through the roses.
I wasn't really too sure what to expect coming to the Botanic Gardens. It's not really my sort of thing, but I was pleasantly surprised. It was actually quite cool, and if you're in Christchurch, I'd definitely recommend a visit. Anyways, now we're off to the Riverside Market.
If you ever watch any YouTube video about what to do in Christchurch, I can guarantee you it will include the Riverside Market. It's one of the city's most famous attractions, and for good reason.
I'm a bit embarrassed to admit really, but being a millennial, I do love a good market. And this one's pretty cool. It is technically listed on the website as a farmer's market, but I think it's a bit more unique than that. There's a good mix of restaurants, independent shops, and local produce, but it's also got a really unique history.
If you're not already aware, Christchurch suffered from a terrible earthquake in February 2011, which caused a lot of damage to the city. The CBD was closed for 2 years, and a temporary shopping mall made from shipping containers was opened to help bring some life back into the city centre. The project was received really well by both locals and tourists, and it was so successful that they decided to make something a bit more permanent, and so the Riverside Market was born. The market is a great place to grab some lunch, and I was fancying a pizza, but with these prices, that would have blown our budget. So a quick Google search told us that Sal's Pizza just around the corner was going to be a better option. Now unfortunately during this part of the video my microphone failed. I don't really remember what it was that I said, but I know that we went round the corner to Sal's and got a pizza for around $7. So that was challenge 3 complete, and yes, I did complete these challenges in the wrong order. When it comes to getting around the city, today we're using the buses. Christchurch does have a pretty good public transport system, and while yes, not technically free, If you grab yourself one of these Metro cards, you do get unlimited travel for 2 hours for just $2, which is pretty cheap. Oh, what's that on the lens?
That's better. Challenge number 2. Go to an event.
Welcome to the Culture Galore Festival. This is an annual event that celebrates Christchurch's ethnic diversity, and what a better way to do that than through food. But there was also a lot of stage performances showcasing traditional music and dance from all different cultures.
So this is only a one-day event, but because Christchurch is like the biggest city on the South Island, there is always something going on somewhere. All the events are definitely worth a visit, and the good thing is that most of them are free to enter.
And there's even activities you can have a go at yourself.
Definitely don't think I'm an actual musician.
The UV here in New Zealand can be pretty intense a lot of the time, so this place also gave out free sun cream, which I thought was brilliant. Since we're on a budget, I unfortunately couldn't buy any of the delicious food, but I was able to spare a few dollars for a Taiwanese soda.
I'm far from being an extroverted person, but one of the best things about coming to events like this is just getting to meet people from all different cultures. I just had a really good chat with that woman from the Taiwanese store, and it just forces you to go outside of your comfort a little bit and get to have conversations with people and do things that you wouldn't normally do.
There was a lot of free games you could have a go at as well. Unfortunately, I didn't realise this would include running.
The last time I did this, I was about 12 years old, so it's probably not going to end too well.
I thought I did pretty well until Alex had a go and beat me. Archery out of the way, we decided to have a game of Jenga, where I was quickly challenged by some sprightly children, so obviously I had to show them how it was done. Now this was an intense match. All seemed to be going well, and the blocks were showing me mercy. Until...
Watch out, careful!
I ultimately lost to 3 children.
So I've had a really good time with the Culture Galore. I've learned that I'm bad at Jenga, I'm bad at archery, and I can't play the trumpet. But I did have a nice Taiwanese root beer, although I did have to pay for that one. It was $3, so that does bring the spend up a little bit. But now it's time to head to our final stop for the day. So after completing all of the challenges today, I did still have a little bit of money left over. So I've just hopped on the bus and come down to Littleton, just outside of Christchurch City. And we are now going to hop on a little ferry for $4 across to one of the most beautiful lookouts that is here in Christchurch. So after that fairly bumpy ferry ride, just arrived in Diamond Harbour. So this place is just outside of Christchurch on the north of Banks Peninsula, and apparently it gets its name Diamond Harbour from when the sun reflects off the water and it sparkles like diamonds. I have actually been here once before, and it's, in my opinion, got some of the best views that you can get around the city.
As I sat staring out over the sparkling waters of Diamond Harbour, I began to think of how the simplest things can often be the most enjoyable. Making memories and having great experiences doesn't always need to come with such a high price tag. I went out today to challenge myself and see if I could have a day out without spending a fortune. And not only do I feel like I succeeded, but I also managed to create some memories that I'll treasure forever. And that to me is something better than any amount of money can ever buy.